Bumblebees. How's the world doing today? Oh, good. It's Sunday. I can't believe it's Sunday. What's up? Interesting. What does day bring? I don't know. I didn't know what to wear, what shirt to wear this morning. I just put on like 3 different fucking shirts. I was like, fuck it. Probably shouldn't wear red, right? Hypothetically speaking. Shit's funny. Would y'all come up with the red concept? Oh, some of this shit just blows my mind. Like, what are you thinking when you did that? Just because I wear the color red is that why? And then you scratch your chin like, Red Candlewood. hmm. Fuck. I didn't have to look. I'm telling you. You didn't see me looking anywhere, just looking at the screen. Impressive. Ooh. What do you see in my eyes? I don't see anything in my eyes. Do you see anything? I see that they're strange color. I don't understand what y'all are fucking doing. This is an invasion of privacy. Not this. That stuff is an invasion of privacy. And it's harassment. Remember that. To remember that. Do you do this to everybody in your town or your neighborhood? Do you harass them? Do you? I'm curious. I'm sure you probably do. Only to specific people, I'm assuming. People you don't want in this neighborhood, right? It's the only thing I can think of. Hmm. Interesting. You want to know what the funny thing is? You can't see through any of these bushes of these trees at all, which I like. Which is a good thing. More privacy. I like that. Of course. Funny. And I can give two craps about anybody in this particular neighborhood. Just to be honest with you. Give two shits. All y'all did was run me to the fucking ground. Like, you ran me in the ground. Hardcore. Don't worry. There's a place in hell for everybody else. Would you think I was on the road dealing? That's funny shit, dude. That's the fakest shit I've ever heard of in my life. It still bothers me, though. To no end. It just bothers me. Would you think I was going to respond to my streams? No, honey. I don't think so. Especially when I don't know anybody. Except for people that I see out, like, in public, probably, I guess. I mean, that's a different ball game right there, right? I wouldn't do anything if I were you. You already pushed the breaking point. What else could go wrong after that? I have no idea. And I really don't want to find out. Now, my mom's coming to visit from, for the kids and me, just come in to visit and say hello and stuff. That's a given. That's the only person I know of that has a Toyota. Let's make that clear. Because it's true. The only one I know of. Now, you tried to do some stupid shit when I was getting groceries. That bothered me. I done called the FBI, by the way. I got enough video footage. You've countlessly costed me my jobs. You've gotten me literally cost me my work. You pushed me out of my home, pretty much pushing me out of here. I mean, you're charging me buku money for boards that are falling down because I can't afford to put boards around a stupid ass propane tank right now. So you're charging me $25 a day on top of it. Then you want to get this place so you can give it to what, your children, adult children? Is that, am I mistaken on that one? Am I reading that correctly? I believe I am. I don't mean to be, bitch. You created this monster. You did. Nobody else but yourself are blamed for it. And you can continue to be upset and angry about it, but in the long run, it's the damn truth. You make me cry about it too. A lot. I'm surprised I haven't had a heart attack yet from this stress. I'm surprised. Which you're probably hoping I do, right? I'm guessing you hope I do. Or somehow keel over and pass away. Is that what you want? You want me gone? For good? I think you do. That's what it feels like. Why? All I asked was to be left alone. And it's not happening. Who cares if I stream? Who cares if I buy groceries? Who cares if I'm single now? Do you want to know the sacrifices I made in my life? I think I'm going to tell you. Right? Let's see what I have accomplished so far in this world. I've had a total of 5 beautiful children. 5. Yep, you heard that correctly. When I was 18 years old, here's your life story for you. On my 18th birthday, I left home. Wanna know why I left home? Because I was locked in a garage. Don't get me wrong, I love my mother, but the person she was married to was a piece of shit, alright? So the time I was 12 to 18, I was abused. Took years and years of counseling to get over that. It did. Years. I mean, I'm talking about rape. I'm talking about beat, killed, buried, strangled. The works. I mean, the ringer. Okay? Locked up in a fucking garage. I mean, I had my food served to me on a fucking concrete floor. Do you know what that's like? I think the last meal I had in that stupid garage was fucking spaghetti. That I'll never forget. The bad things are hard to forget. You learn to forgive, but you never forget. Okay? I'm going to tell you this life story here. So in that time frame, I'm in the garage, right? It's nothing but tools, equipment, computer stuff, big old box old computers, those 90s computers and shit. I did have access to that stuff. Mm-hmm. That's why I did what I did. Passed the time by. Yeah. That's the last meal I had there. I was about to turn bumblebees everywhere. About to turn 18 years old. The day before that, plate of spaghetti just dumped on the concrete and forced to eat it. Can you imagine that? Can you live like that? I don't think anybody would have survived at that point if they had to live like that. Nah. You wouldn't make it. Then my birthday came around the next day. I said I was leaving. I was 18 now, so I was allowed to leave legally at this age. I got kicked out of school. Want to know why? Because of the problems I was dealing with at home. So I took it out in school and I tried to act out in school, you know. I was a straight A student. I was a straight A student. Passed all my tests, everything. Not dumb. Raised horribly. Let's keep going. Let's tell the life story here. Alright, let's keep going. So when I was 17, I did have breaks in between where I was able to, they had like my parents, so-called parents, had adult friends that had kids, and I would, be allowed to go over there and babysit, but then I would always be watched on a constant basis over there anyway. And they just got paid like $20 for babysitting. I went up for like 2-3 hours, went home, was dropped off by these people, and then at this point, on my birthday, I was like, I'm gone. So I packed up all my stuff. All of it. And I broke down at the babysitters, people I was babysitting. I broke down. And I told them everything that was going on. And they were in shock. So it was my 18th birthday. That's when I left. So they said that I could stay there with them. So I packed all my stuff, put it in their trunk, and they drove me all the way back to their house. I stayed there about a month. I didn't know nothing about bills, didn't know nothing about the world, nothing. Not a damn thing. No one ever told me anything to figure this stuff out by myself, later on. So I'm there, I actually pretty much I was their nanny at that point. I was watching their kids and they did whatever they wanted. And then I finally decided I was going to get my first job, right? Domino's Pizza. 4 to 5 hours every evening. $5.15 an hour. Can you imagine that? That's a very small amount compared to nowadays. $5.15 an hour. Pretty much. And just sat there and took orders on the phone and shit. It was easy. And I rode my bike up there around the corner because it was right next to where they lived. So I ended up working like a couple blocks down from it. So I just took a bike, one of their kids' bikes, and I rode down there. Well, let's continue on with life. About a month into it, staying there, I didn't know how to manage anything at that point. Money, finances. I didn't know anything about, rental places. I didn't know how to live at all. Period. So they said that I couldn't stay anymore. I'm like, okay. I'm 18 years old. Just had my birthday a month ago. Just got this job. Don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. You ready for this life story, right? So I leave. I left my stuff there. I didn't have any use for it. I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just left it. At that point, I was in Clarksville. Clarksville, I guess. Right? Beautiful Clarksville. Got huge now. This used to be smaller back then. So I'm in Clarksville, downtown area. You know, there are alleys there, little shops. You know how downtown looks if you ever lived in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's a lot bigger now, but it was smaller. So I ended up living next to underneath the bridge by the Cumberland River. In a cardboard box underneath the bridge. Didn't know anything about nothing. Couldn't have my job at Domino's anymore because I was way too far away. And I didn't know what else to do. But I can say, during that time I was staying at that lady's house, watching her kids, I had a case open against the man who had done horrible shit to me. I did. There was even evidence. It's disturbing, but it was true. And I think he passed away now. His name was Detective Kaminsky, over there in Clarksville. I remember his name. Very kind. Told him everything. He listened. Very good person. But anyways, let's go back to where we were. In a cardboard box, eating out of a fucking dumpster. At 18. And one day, I had met some people, friend-wise, I guess, because I'd go to these bars around the corners and stuff just to hang out, just for the hell of it. And I'd go and I'd make friends, just friends. Never slept with anybody. Was still a virgin, actually, because the other part was raped, not the front, right? I was always scared to give myself to anybody. Always. So I never did. So I made friends. Oh my gosh, my hair is... What is that? Oh, of course, pictures. Anyways. Made friends. Stayed with them at their apartment, you know, just on the couch, stuff like that. With friend's house to friend's house to friend's house. For a while. Just so I didn't have to sleep under this fucking bridge. Eventually, I decided, you know, I don't know what to do. So I ended up taking myself to a woman's abuse shelter at that point. I was about 18 and a half years old. Something like that. About 6, 7 months. Before I actually went there, they had pay phones. Once you put the quarters in, they had them back then. I had one quarter I found, and I used it, and I called my mom's house phone. Asshole answered the phone. Because I was getting kind of desperate at that point. I didn't know what to do. And then they said, "Where are you at? Are you here? Where are you? We'll come and get you." And he just like was demanding it. And I didn't say anything. And I just hung up the phone. I said, no, I'd rather die on the fucking street than do that again. Then, oh my gosh, my head, wow. I took myself to a women's abuse shelter, stayed there, got a job, was working at McDonald's. What was this? This was, oh my goodness, people, wow. It's interesting how life can give you. Got a job, McDonald's, lived in Oak Grove, Kentucky. Hopkinsville. Hoptown, right? Then I ended up going on a date with somebody out of the blue. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. So I settled. I married the first person I dated. Got pregnant. Had a baby. My oldest, 20 years old. He's autistic. He lives in a group home now with 2 other roommates. Very good caretakers. He became violent later on, though. So I had my son, and I took care of him for his whole life. People. Then, now that's not the whole story of my life, though. We stayed with his mother at the time, and I had Julian. Ended up getting an apartment together somewhere. It didn't last very long. Nope. Y'all need to quit. So we ended up separating. Yeah, we separated. Can't do this on my stream, okay? It's weird. It's already weird enough as it is. And going on our merry way. So I ended up getting another job at a McDonald's. You know, the easiest job you can get out there is freaking fast food, right? Then I met a second one. I wasn't married to this one, but I stayed with him quite a bit. I had a total of, well, I had 1 kid with him. I thought, oh, this is the love of my life, right? We're gonna be happy. It's just too many fucking falters. What the fuck? So, we moved into a house in the middle of nowhere, owned by some old farmer dude who had a pig farm. Out in, where were we? We were on the outskirts of, the hell is it? Like the outskirts of Cheatham County. Shoot. Past the Cumberland River. Past the bridge. Okay? We lived out there in like, it's like Dean Road, I think it was. I can't remember. Old brick house, you know, it didn't have a stove in it. We had like these plug-in stoves that we'd use as little eyes and stuff. Try to raise my son. Dude turned out to be, I didn't realize this, but I was getting, my son had autism, so it turns out he was just using me to get my son's disability check. You get a lot of them people out there. He was very, very manipulative. Even though we had a kid together, he was very manipulative. Went through the biggest court hearings you could ever think of after we separated. Holy shit, those things lasted forever. I went on for about a year of court hearings with this man. Ended up, what happened was we had shared custody after that. So he got a week, I got a week. It's split on and off, right? And we split the holidays and everything. It's all court order shit. And one day, was convinced that, you know, he was not a good thing. And so he ended up taking my son, Nicholas, my second born. Took him, drove all the way to fucking Florida. All the way to Florida, dude. And I couldn't do anything about it because we had that shared custody thing. So I couldn't find him forever. My son and his dad. Did everything in my power. But since he was the legal father, nothing I could do about it. And then at this point, I hired a lawyer and it took all the tax return I had gotten that year. About 5 months into it before it was that 6-month mark, right? Hired a lawyer. It's a bumblebee around here. Anyways. Got a court order. Found out from a fluke of a I don't know how I found this out. By a fluke of magical happenings or whatever. In the vine there. Whatever. Found out where he lived. Just because of his ex's mom that he was staying with at some weird trailer park out there in Clarksville. Some funky ass trailer park. Hey, Loto. And finally got his address in Florida. Served him the paperwork. That motherfucker had to turn around from Florida, meet me halfway in Georgia, and give me my fucking kid. Got my kid back. There we go. Whew, I'm glad y'all didn't do that anymore. It's giving me a headache. And from there, it was my son from there on out. I filed for child support, took his ass to the ringer. You're gonna take my kid, okay? Let's see, a couple years roll by. Years. Meet somebody else down the road. A couple years later. Ended up having 3 beautiful children with this man. Nice family. We had everything going. Yeah, the ex. Not this previous ex. The one like years and years ago. Had 3 kids total. No, not the first. It's the third one. Third ex. My second kid, fine and dandy, you know. I had Alex, and then I had Sierra. And then after about 2012, I had my son, Asher. But at this point, people, at this time, I was pregnant. He became extremely abusive. I mean, like, extreme. And I knew how to pick him, apparently. Of course, I didn't know right from wrong either, so go figure. Then he locked his ass up because then I found out later on that he had tried to touch my daughter, and I had her checked and everything else, and I was really pissed off about that. Hey, Kung Fu Grasshopper! Welcome to the stream. But no, I hear you. I don't hear it. I just don't want to do it. I'm tired of it. It's just, it was rough. I was pregnant. I think I was on 8, 9 months into it, and then I had to adopt my son out. It was either that or not have a job because I couldn't work physically anymore. Or not have a place for my other kids. So I met with a family member of a family member and of a friend and adopted my son right after he came out. Didn't want to see it because if I knew if I heard or seen my son when he was born, that I wouldn't be able to do it. So I had my kid in 2012. The minute he came out, I said, please take him out of the room. I don't want to see him because I won't let him go. And that was one of the biggest sacrifices I've ever done. Yeah, total of 5 children. We keep in touch every year, gifts for Christmas and holidays, and yeah, I get pictures every year, you know, send out gifts every year, birthday and stuff. Then comes the hard part. Like later on, get a job at factories, stuff like that. But they pay more. That's why I like to work at the factories all the time. They have a steady schedule. You get your weekends most of the time. Not this. Martin Ray Fabco was ridiculous. At that time, 2012, yeah. Holy crap. That place made you work 7 days a week. Hey, Vinyl Spinner. Good morning. But yes, that it was the worst factory. I mean, that wasn't, but it was. It was just at the time they had you working overtime. Paychecks were nice, but damn. Then I ended up meeting my ex, which is now. We dated for a little bit. Down the road, I think 2014. Got married. And he adopted the two younger ones. Couldn't adopt Nicholas or the other one because the child support crap or whatever. Father wouldn't sign off, but whatever. And raised a family for a long time. It was a run. It was one big run. It was a big one. 10 years, right? And things went downhill later on, I guess. Started to after about 3 years into it. Man had an affair. And for about 3 years worth of an affair, actually. And I forgave him for it. I did everything in my power to get, catch him. But didn't ever fail. But never was. Even saw blue toenails hanging out of my fucking blanket one night. I was like, it hurts. But I forgave him, and we moved on with our lives. And we were still married for a long time afterwards. And then we moved up here a year ago. I wanted to be close to Dad, but, didn't get a chance. I was like, well, I found my dad a couple years ago. No, not adopted away. Just the last name change. So now here I am. And then for the past 2 years, I don't want to go into it really. That's when my son turned hoo-hoo, and I looked like a little purple onion walking around the streets in Springfield. I was beaten so bad by my kid when he was 18. I don't know how he managed to graduate high school, but he graduated somehow. I tried to get it through to the point where he actually made it through the school, graduated. And even though I sacrificed myself, but he got through it. Not my face, arms, legs. Yeah, I remember. You see, I think you were there. You think I was on stream and I showed it. My arms were horrible. They looked the shade of purple, dark violet purple. And I watched the streaming because it got me through a lot of stuff. Like, first I started on Reddit, and then somebody fucked my account up or something and hacked it. I couldn't get on Reddit anymore, so I was like, whatever. Then came Twitch, and then we were streaming for we've been streaming on Twitch for how long now? Couple years worth. And I had a few flukes, myself during along the way. Never was a bad girl. Had my moments. I've never been bad. Did what I was told. Never, I'm surprised, but I've never veered towards any, hardcore. I'm surprised myself. I never did hard drugs or anything. I've never done that. I mean, everybody smoked pot, of course, in their lifetime. I know they have. Don't lie, you have at one point in your life, or you're probably still doing it now for all I care. But, alcohol, I did some of the alcohol. course. Shit like that. I had my moments in the sun. I'm going to, sure. Hey, TBD. What's up? What's up? Yeah, science. I've loved science forever. And you might find me weird and, I don't know, quirky in the neighborhood and whatever. Yeah, you're right to be upset, of course. And it is, but if you overdo it, I guess. You don't see me running around with a bottle in my hand all damn day either. That's just, I don't see how people who do that can function and take care of their lives if they do that. I can't see it. I couldn't see myself holding a bottle walking down the road in the middle of the fucking morning. I can't. I mean, I'll have a glass of wine or two. That's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much it. And then, of course, I'll get in the mood where I want to listen to music. That's normal. I got a karaoke machine. It's funny. But no alcohol tonight. I gotta work in the morning. I drink and smoke. Is that bad? Hey, forte, whoever you like, whatever floats your boat, right? I guess. Mom's about to be here. Maybe I can get some fishing in today. Hopefully. It's a nice day outside. And I know what y'all want me to do, who you want me to be, but I'd rather live my life in peace. I don't want anything. I don't ask for nothing. Hell, I just want to take care of my kids and grow up, be old, and maybe be grandma one day. Who knows? That would be cool to see your great grandchildren or something like that. But I am unique in my own personal way. Not your average. And who cares if I could do what I could do? I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person in this world. Probably more out there. Chill in the mind. Exactly. I'm tired of my head. I don't like that. It bothers me. I gotta mow the grass, and I can't mow the grass because it's like a big mud pie out here. It's like this tall now, and I can't mow it because you're stinking in the mud. That's why it's not mowed yet. It's like big mud. Sinking mud. But I'm hanging off here. I hope everybody has a great day out there. I've been on here a while now. You heard my whole life story there, pretty much, in a nutshell. Almost all of it. I was gonna get out and finish my backyard. It rained in the afternoon. Yeah, it's been raining like for days. It feels like, and if you step in the mud, you sink to about an inch in the ground. So you can't really mow it right now. I'm warning people, if you're mowing out here and your grass is like that, I wouldn't do it. You ruin your lawnmower. Big drainage ditch. Yeah, there's a big drainage ditch, but it looks like a river flowing through it. Not right now, but when it rains. That's the worst part of the property is that area where it has a big drainage ditch, and it just you're sinking in like 2 feet of mud over there by the birdhouse. Bye. You enjoy the day too. Bye everybody else that showed up. Enjoy the Sunday.